This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Why, hello, everybody out there in No Guilt Mom podcast land. This is Bree, and I am introducing our new monthly bonus rewind, where every month I'm going to be reaching deep into the No Guilt Mom podcast catalog to find the best and brightest episodes to share that you might not have heard if you've only joined us in the last year or so. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this month's bonus rewind.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, joined here by my awesome co-host, Bree Tucker.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
I had to sing it. I feel a lot of pressure. To differentiate my introduction.
Right? Like there really is. Like I even look at you for a moment just going like, what's she going to say?
And then I clam up because when you have that performance anxiety, you're like, I have to think of something right now. And then nothing comes to your mind and you just have to go back to an old standby, which is awesome.
Right. Awesome. Amazing. All the A's. Maybe
All
notice
the
that,
A's.
like how the A's seem to pop out a lot.
Maybe because you just start at the beginning of the alphabet and you work your way down.
Maybe.
I don't even know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, today we are talking about the ways you're sabotaging discipline at home. This is a tough love episode. A tough love episode of the No Guilt Mom podcast.
For a very special tough love episode.
A very special tough love episode. Because a lot of times, when we talk to parents, especially about our courses like Homework 911, Homework Mastery, some of the things that come up are like, oh, they're not doing it this way. And I'm nagging and reminding them to follow the course and do the course. And actually, that nagging and reminding is a huge sabotage.
It is. It is. And what's even worse is that as parents, we mean so well. There are so many times that I have given advice to my kids and they work in two different ways. So my youngest is the one who is very, we would call Audrey very headstrong.
Yes.
She likes to do things her own way. And so if she has a problem and I give her a suggestion, even as simple as she's upset and I'll be like, okay, let's work on some breathing techniques. She'll be like, no way. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just because if I give her advice, she digs in her heels because she is a person that lives through experience. Mm-hmm. She needs to experience it herself. And while I don't think that she means to completely discount me, she doesn't believe that I understand her situation and what she's going through. So, okay. So anytime I try to give her advice, it's going to immediately blow up in my face. Mm-hmm. Now, my son, Robert, our oldest, I give him advice. He'll at least begrudgingly take my advice a lot of times, but he doesn't really try.
Yeah.
He'll half-heartedly be like, I did it. It didn't work.
Yeah.
And shrug his shoulders and move on. Again, I think he just doesn't believe that I know what the heck I'm talking about. So anybody else get that?
Because as parents, we were raised that way. We were basically told what to do as kids. Yes, and you were
because I said so.
And respect authority, and you need to respect authority and listen to me and everything. And sometimes we think that as parents, we're like, why aren't our kids listening to us? And why aren't our kids respecting us? But it's not that at all. They hold so much respect for you that it's just coming out in a different way. And we're seeing now a huge pushback in kids because we're not teaching them as a society to just blindly follow directions. We're teaching them to question and to problem solve. So these old ways of parenting, the ways that we were parented, they don't work as well as
You're
they
right.
did when we were kids.
That's a really good point that I hadn't really put those two things together. You're right. As a society, we are asking our children to problem solve, to question, to innovate. Mm-hmm. And yet as parents, we do tend to get frustrated when they question us.
Yes.
And try to innovate things that we feel like we know how to do best. And they're like, well, why can't we do it this way? Mm-hmm. We get frustrated by that because we feel like it's being disrespectful, but really they're just doing exactly what we are asking them as parents to do and what society is asking them to do.
Yeah. So
Very interesting. I like that.
Really how our culture is right now and how it's an easy fix once we understand that. So this episode, we are going to dig into 3 ways that you might be sabotaging your discipline. And more importantly, we're going to give you some suggestions on how you can fix that so that you have just a happier relationship with your kids and you feel more at peace and calm. So we hope you enjoy this episode. Ways we're sabotaging our discipline. So way number 1, we're assuming we know what the problem is.
The age-old assuming. Okay, my favorite statement about assuming.
Yeah.
When you assume, you make an ass out of you and
me.
Yep.
It's true, but you know what? Before I started reading into this more, I didn't even know I was assuming. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I know what the problem is here. It's because you're not prioritizing your time, or you're too tired when you get up in the morning, and so doing homework then is impossible. I just thought I knew the answers. I wasn't even thinking I was assuming.
It was coming from a good place. It was coming from a place of, oh, okay, I know more, so let me help you with my knowledge.
Yeah.
But that's not always how it really turns out, huh?
No, it's so surprising because a lot of the times when kids have a problem, we are so off base as to what the actual problem is.
Oh, yeah. Especially as, you know what? I was going to say especially as they get older, but I could think of plenty of times when my kids were younger, toddler, preschool, even early school age, and I didn't know what the problem was. But I can tell you now, having a tween, nope, I'd never. I don't, assuming it's the last thing I try to do anymore because it always blows up in my face.
Yeah, they get mad.
It's like that little
they're
science
you don't
experiment
understand
volcano.
me.
It's like that little science experiment volcano with the baking soda. It just explodes all over me, and I'm like, well, this is lovely.
Just explodes. Yeah. Because I think one of the things that's really, really hard to accept as a parent is that we don't know what the problem is all the time.
Right.
But that is also kind of freeing because that means that if we don't know the problem, then there's something else out there that we just need to figure it out. And once we figure that out, we can work with our kid to solve it. So it's there's hope there.
I also see it as if I don't necessarily, what you just said, if I don't necessarily know what the problem is right off the bat, then I'm also not responsible to know the solution right off the bat.
Yeah.
It gives me permission to have time to figure it out. So, all right. So if they're assuming they know what the problem is, how can we fix that? How can we get ourselves to stop assuming?
So we really have to figure out what the problem is. And I just finished, oh my gosh, if you guys have not picked up this book, it's called The Explosive Child by Dr. Ross Greene. It's been around for a while, and it's actually recommended in most parenting groups that I've been in on Facebook. This book, I see this title popping up everywhere.
Well, and his name popped up in so many podcasts we've had with so many guests in the past, which, shout out, when we talk about this, he's going to be on the podcast here coming in a few months. So
yes, and I'm so excited for that because, he has such a great process that it helps you drill down to figure out what your kid is actually thinking. Because a lot of the times we'll be like, hey, I noticed that you have, and this is wording from The Explosive Child, I noticed that you're having difficulty doing your homework. What's up? And that's the question he says to ask. Just what's up? So that it's not assuming that you know the answer right away. It's not saying that oh, I noticed that you're really lazy after school.
Well, and it's also not saying, I notice you're having trouble with your homework. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's a loaded question with the problem. Oh, that means that your child's at fault. So, yeah, he gives some really great suggestions even by what types of questions,
what to ask, because sometimes you'll ask that of kids. You'll be like, what's up? And oh my gosh, if your kid answers you, well, I'm having trouble with writing and getting the words down on the paper.
You have an amazingly insightful kid.
Amazingly insightful child, because they don't say that. They usually say stuff like nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Or I don't know. That's the main go-to answer in my household. I don't know.
Or it's boring. And what do you do with that? You don't have anything to go on there.
Right.
That's why he recommends drilling down, which is different than grilling them. It's not like they're at a police station and you're trying the answer. Drilling down is a process where you're trying to get to the actual problem so you can define it. So there's 5 questions, 5 strategies to do this. The first one is reflective listening, which is when your kid is like, oh, all right, what's up? I see you're having a difficulty doing your homework. What's up? And they say, I'm bored. Reflective listening would be like, oh, okay, I understand that you're bored during homework. What's boring during homework is your next question. You can ask in the next question. But reflective listening is basically just repeating back what they said so that they know that you heard them and you understand.
And I think a big piece of reflective listening as well is showing empathy and like not just going through the motions to go through the motions. It can't be, all right, so I hear that you're bored. I get that. I know. I hear you're bored. You say that all the time.
I get it.
That's not reflective.
That's not reflective.
No, that's going to make your kids shut down because they're being disregarded, invalidated. They're not being heard, really.
Exactly.
And if you need to take a moment to not be frustrated, if you need to take a moment to find a place where it's quiet and it's free of distractions so that you can have this conversation, that will be so much worth its weight in gold. Finding that place where you can actually come to your child and be open and really listening to what's going on, because you are a detective in this situation.
Yep. And another thing you can do is actually give your child a heads up that you're going to be talking about this, because this is better done not in the heat of the moment. It's better done when the child isn't experiencing that problem right away. So you could be like, hey, I was wondering, could we talk this weekend about the difficulty you're having doing homework?
Right.
And that gives your child some chance to think too about the difficulty homework. So maybe they'll be better prepared with actual responses.
Right. And letting them know that you're not trying to fix it.
You're not trying to fix it.
I'm not going to tell you what to do, especially if that's something that you've done in the past. I'm not going to try to fix it. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to try to help understand what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So after reflective listening, if you're okay, I understand that you're bored, the next question you can ask, or you can put this in any order. So I don't want you to think that there's a specific order. These are just strategies to pull from. You can ask a who, what, when, or where question.
Okay.
It could be what about homework is boring? Or when do you find homework boring?
Or where do you find it the most boring?
Yes.
It's kind of an odd way to put
That's
that.
an odd way.
But still, it's a good point, because it could be something about situations and where you're at and environment. There's so many different things.
Yep. So you can ask one of those questions, the who, what, when, or where question. Another strategy to drill down is you can ask why it occurs sometimes and not others.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Such as specifically with homework, you could say, okay, so I noticed that when you have math problems, you do it really, really fast. But then when you have writing for homework, you have more difficulty. Why is the writing more difficult for you?
Oh, that's a really, really good point, because sometimes it is one piece of the equation and not the whole thing.
And you could expand that to any problem in your house, really. Say it's a chore. With my kids, my son has no problem feeding the cat or remembering to feed him, but he has a problem remembering to scoop that cat litter. And I can make a whole bunch of assumptions for that, why he has that problem. But it's more powerful if I actually ask him right there, I noticed that, you have no trouble feeding the cat, but then you always and it's really, really hard to phrase it first. So notice that when I'm phrasing it right now, I'm kind of thinking of my words, because this is a really messy process and you're not going to get it right away.
No, it takes time. It takes practice. And there's a lot of times that you can do it for a long period of time, many years, and still need to work at it.
So know that you're not supposed to be perfect at this.
We'll be right back after a quick break. Nowadays, we're all juggling work, school drop-offs, events, appointments, and everything else. So flexibility in education isn't just nice to have, it is essential.
And that's what makes K-12 powered schools such a fantastic and valuable option. It's tuition free. You heard that, free. Accredited online public school for kindergarten through 12th grade, and it's designed to fit your real family life.
With K-12, school happens wherever there's internet, whether that's from the comfort of home, a grandparent's house, or on the go between activities. It moves with you.
Students can follow a daily schedule that fits their learning style and your family's rhythm, all with the support of certified teachers who are trained specifically for online education.
Plus, there are online clubs and social events so kids can still connect and build confidence no matter where they're logging in from. See why more than 3 million families have chosen K-12 to empower their students. Go to k12.com/ngm today to learn more. That's the letter K, the number 12.com/ngm. k12.com/ngm.
DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse, is the one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between, for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW has what you need, but more importantly, they have what you didn't even know you wanted. You never know what you'll find at DSW. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or dsw.com.
At Talus, we know cybersecurity can be tough and you can't protect everything, but with Talus, you can secure what matters most. With Talus industry-leading platforms, you can protect critical applications, data, and identities anywhere and at scale with the highest ROI. That's why the most trusted brands and largest banks, retailers, and healthcare companies in the world rely on Talus to protect what matters most: applications, data, and identities. That's Talus, T-H-A-L-E-S. Learn more at talusgroup.com/cyber.
Well, and hearing this, like in my head, I'm immediately going to the assuming. I'm like, I know what the problem is. It stinks.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to do it.
Yeah, but that might not be the problem at all.
That might not be it. Yeah.
There might be another one.
Oh, goodness.
So you could also ask the child what they're thinking in the midst of the problem. Be like, when you're having difficulty doing your homework, what are you thinking?
They're thinking I hate homework. They might be.
Yep. And you can be like, so I understand that you're thinking you hate homework. What makes you hate homework? So I just asked what question?
And then it might come back to the stupid spelling packet.
Yeah.
That we've talked about over
spelling
time.
Packet.
The
Curses
spelling packet.
to the spelling packet. Curses to anything
goodness.
with spelling. But it brings us down to the fifth strategy is breaking the problem down into parts. So seeing like maybe homework isn't the whole issue. Maybe it's just a specific subset of homework like spelling.
Right.
So you're drilling down into what part is the hardest, and say it is the spelling packet. Well, what don't you like about the spelling packet? I have to write it 5 times.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I have to use it in a sentence with 3 other spelling words.
Yeah. So then once you drill down, you have a better understanding of what the actual problem is, which might be totally different than what you assumed it was.
Exactly. Because again, friends, what does assuming do?
Makes an ass out of you and me.
Oh, Lordy Lord.
Number two, the way you might be sabotaging discipline at home, you're searching for the right punishment.
Oh, yes, because we all believe that if we just found the right punishment, it would make the behavior stop.
The right, because it's like we think, oh my gosh, if I just take Liberty Roblox, maybe it's Roblox. Maybe he shouldn't be playing Roblox after school. I'll try that.
Or I could just find the way that makes them suffer enough.
Yeah.
They'll stop doing whatever behavior it is I'm trying to stop.
And does it work?
Nope.
No.
Does it work for you?
No.
When someone takes something away from you, have you ever been able to effectively change your behavior or change the way that you did something because someone took something away that meant a lot to you?
No. It just made me mad and sneaky.
Yes. It makes you angry a lot of times. And yes, then you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to find a way to do it without getting caught for sure.
Exactly. So. Creative problem solving, encouraging creative problem solving in kids. But no,
I know, right?
Not a parenting tragedy, I recommend.
Yeah. No, I don't think you'll be very happy with the results of their thinking outside the box and being innovative. Because the innovativeness is going to be how to get around you.
Yeah. Because, that's how we were raised.
Right.
We were raised with grounding. We were raised with no TV time if we didn't do stuff. That's how we were raised.
And we're not saying that there isn't a time and a place to limit screens or something like that. And I'm picking on the limiting screen time because that's something that a lot of parents use as a strategy. I'm not saying that there isn't a time when you're being on your phone or playing video games is interfering with other things, but taking it away as a punishment strategy to make a child feel bad and feel that loss isn't necessarily going to motivate them to want to do something in a different way.
No, but I actually know the exact thing I would do if someone took away my screens. I would find a way to sneak the screen to a part of the house, or if my parents when I was 11, I was able to stay home by myself. There was nothing stopping me.
Oh, I know, right? Well, and I'm trying to think too, I think that would also a lot of times perpetuate, like we just gave the example, it would perpetuate worse behavior. So let's say you're taking away screen time because your child is getting a bad grade at school. Because again, that's where I hear it a lot, which that's a normal thing. Okay, so then you take away screen time. So then your kid's going to try to become sneaky and figure out a way to get their screen time. A lot of them are going to wait till you go to bed, right?
Yeah.
And then try to do the screen time then. So now they have another behavior. They're losing sleep and they're going to be tired at school, which is going to make their grades even worse, probably, right? Because they're trying to sneak in the screen time. So our main point is stop searching for that right punishment because it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. But a lot of people may be listening, and you may be listening too and thinking, well, if I can't punish them, then what do I do?
Well, We're going to teach them how to solve the problem, right? They need to gain skills to figure out how to solve the problem that's occurring.
And even before that, you can go back to that not assuming step and really drill down to find what the problem is. Because if they're having trouble in school and getting bad grades, I don't think it's because they want to get bad grades. I think it's because there's something else going on.
Right, because we all know that we love getting lectured by the people in our family. We all love having somebody tell us, like, you just got to figure this out. No, we don't.
No. It's like if I could just figure it out, I would have figured it out already.
Right, exactly. So we know that we can't assume what the problem is, and we know that we have to, we can't keep searching for the right punishment because it doesn't exist. What's the third thing that people are doing that's sabotaging?
So number 3 is we think that we as parents know best, so we impose our solutions on our kids.
The good old mother knows best, father knows best, or because I said so.
Because I said so, yeah. So this is when we figure out a problem, but then we give our solution to the problem and expect our kids to follow it.
Ooh, yeah, that's again with that whole volcano exploding in my face.
Yeah.
Seems to happen a lot.
So it's like if, say, teeth brushing, like, oh, I see that you're having difficulty brushing your teeth before bed. That's why, bedtime is going to start now at 7:45 so that you have time to brush your teeth. That's an example of a unilateral solution.
Yeah, it makes sense in my head that, since you can't get it done, we're going to start this even earlier so that we can take the process. That's not going to cause any resentment or anger from your child whatsoever, right?
Yeah. None! I mean, people do not have other people's wills imposed upon them.
Yeah.
Me, Brie points to me automatically.
What's your motto?
You can't boss me.
You can't tell me what to do, checklist.
You can't tell me what to do. It's so funny. My daughter and her friends were in her room one time, and her friend Brooklyn made up this song. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. And she was and that's always what I have in my head because it's true.
It's true. And you know what, though? That's a great quality to have, that I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to forge my path. But it's so painful as parents sometimes for us to watch it because we think if you would just listen to what I'm telling you to do, if you would just do what I'm telling you, it would get done quicker. It would be all done. Everything would be fine. We could move on.
We'll be right back after a quick break.
Finish training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pâté. Fancy Feast gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast gems.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
It's so painful as parents sometimes for us to watch it because we think if you would just listen to what I'm telling you to do, if you would just do what I'm telling you, it would get done quicker. It would be all done. Everything would be fine. We could move on.
Yeah, we're trying to make it easy and not messy and seamless.
But it's making it easy for us, not for our child.
And if we really looked into it, it's really not making it easy for us because our kids push back so hard.
Right. Then you just end up spending half an hour fighting about brushing your teeth instead of the 5 minutes of just letting them do it their way.
Yeah.
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 It's rough.
So the way around that is to invite your kid into the problem solving. And that's hard to do sometimes because kids will come into problem solving and they'll be like, I don't know what the answer is.
Ooh, this is where our episode with Michelle Borba, when we talk about thrivers, where she has her pocket problem solver. So for your younger kids, this would be great. Identifying what the problem is, having them give 3 solutions, no matter how crazy they are.
Yeah.
And then the pinky would be, what solution are you going to try? So like, it's a really great process there of just like, again, making sure that your child is involved in that solution.
Yeah.
You may not like what those solution options are.
No, and sometimes like kids don't know where to start though in the solutions. Like they may have like some solutions like, oh, just don't tell me when to brush my teeth and we'll all be good. Or one of the solutions might be, I don't have to brush my teeth.
And then that's where you can point out the consequences, the natural consequences that will occur from that.
Yeah, you could say like, that's an idea. Let's hold that idea. But my concern is, and then you could like,
Cavities.
Pain. And I don't want to pay. And like all the money you spend on the dentist for cavities, that's not cheap.
Yeah.
That's not cheap. So inviting kids into the problem solving process instead of putting on our solutions. This is a hard habit to break. And it's a habit. It's a thing that we have to relearn and unlearn as parents.
Right.
So like when you first start learning about this, you'll notice all the things you do and you'll be like, you'll have to stop yourself mid-sentence and be like, I'm going to step back. I do that all the time. Like my daughter was having trouble deciding something and I was giving her all my opinions and I realized what I was doing and I'm like, oh, I'm going to step back. I'm just going to let you handle this problem.
Right. And sometimes I have to walk away to get away from the situation. And I also have to make sure that I'm very clear with that with my daughter. My son doesn't seem to really pick up on this, but with my daughter, I have to say to her, like, I'm not mad at you. I just need to step away so that I stop trying to tell you what I think you should do. And she actually tends to respond pretty well to that. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that's great, Mom. You go over there. I'll figure it out myself. Okay, great.
I think that's a great, like, if you have a tween in your house, try doing this one little thing. Go up to them and be like, you know what? I'm going to try not to nag you as much as I have been because that's not fun for any of us. And see what they say.
Yes. Hopefully you'll get a really good response from that.
And they might even remind you when you're going into nagging mode. And that could be hard to take at first.
I know. That's where, yeah, like with mine, like sometimes I get the attitude and the, gosh, Mom, okay. I have to be like, can you just watch your tone because it hurts my feelings when you speak to me in that way.
Yes. And I think that's totally valid because a lot of this is like, you hear us say like nagging's like not beneficial, but then the question is, well, then what do I do instead? Do I just let my kids walk all over me and do whatever I want?
No,
it's coming to a mutually agreeable solution, something that meets your kids' needs and something that meets your needs and concerns. And that's easier to come by than you think. It's not an impossible scenario.
Right. So keep in mind these 3 self-sabotaging things that you might be doing at home when it comes to discipline and just think about them in the future and to see if you can avoid doing them.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not going to be perfect. It is going to be messy.
Oh, yeah. I still mess up on these all the time.
Me too. I like cut myself off in the middle of speaking and like do an about face and walk away because I'm like, okay.
Yeah. There are plenty of times I find my safe person. I'll text you, Joanne.
Oh my gosh.
I'll text Miguel. I'll be like, somebody help me out with this. I need someone to help me just stop right now.
Yeah. I mean, I had a situation this weekend where I was feeling so bad and I was trying to like stick to my guns with my kids and I was texting Bree. I'm like, Bree, I want to cry right now. And this is going on. and
I'm like, I hear you.
And it all ended okay. Yeah. So we hope that you got something out of our tough love episode of the No Guilt Mom podcast. Let us know what you think. Email us, hello@noguiltmom.com. We can't wait to read it. And when I say that, I'm saying, please email us.
Please email us.
That's code for Bree and Joanne. Really want to hear from you.
I know, right? Please leave us a review. Tell us your thoughts so that we can continue to grow. I know, but we really, really, truly do love hearing from you guys. Please send us a line.
We do. And the more we hear from you and the more feedback that we get, the better we're able to make sure that the No Guilt Mom podcast is for you and meets your needs. Until next time, remember the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
If you'd like to support the show further, you can share episodes with your loved ones, leave a positive review, or follow us on social media at No Guilt Mom. You could also show your love by visiting our amazing podcast sponsors. We have a link in the show notes.